This is the DAR Today podcast, and I'm your host, Brooke Bullmaster Stewart. Well, I don't know if you're anything like me, but usually when I've attended Continental Congress, or honestly any big event, when I get home, I am on to the next thing. And especially with Continental Congress, as summer is such a busy time for me and for so many of us. So I just have to say what a delight it has been to recap all during the month of July, all about Continental Congress. It's almost dizzying, isn't it? The scope of work that daughters do in this society. It's really incredible. And we mentioned this a few weeks ago, but the DAR Today podcast will be going dark in the month of August. However, there will still be podcasts playing every Monday. We will just be replaying some of everybody's favorite segments, some really interesting segments, ones that caught people's attention. And perhaps they are segments that you missed, especially when you think about the fact that our episodes used to be so much longer. So look forward to those every Monday, just a little different format than you're used to. We really hope that you enjoy them as much as our team has enjoyed creating them. And today is our last episode about Continental Congress. First, we'll talk about the Independence Day parade there in Washington, D.C. So many daughters love participating in this parade. It means so much to them. And then we'll hear from daughters around the nation telling us their favorite memories of this Continental Congress, some of their takeaways, and some of them will share what they're looking forward to next year. And as always, we hope that you will subscribe to this podcast or hit that notification bell. It really lets us know that you appreciate what we're trying to do with this podcast. Also, of course, what our President General and her executive board has hoped that everyone would learn about our society, about what the DAR is doing today. But let's jump into this episode today. And as always, thank you so much for being here with us today. On the momentous occasion of our nation's 248th birthday, 56 dedicated daughters from across the country donned their patriotic red, white, and blue to proudly participate in the National Independence Day Parade in Washington, D.C.
The National Society Daughters of the American Revolution is a women's service organization founded in 1890. Through the historic preservation, education, and patriotism, the DAR honors the men and women who achieved American independence during the Revolutionary War.
Leading this spirited group were several enthusiastic CAR members, driven by Beverly and Douglas Toome in a 1915 Model T Ford, symbolizing the enduring legacy of our country's heritage. As daughters marched past iconic landmarks, they represented our national society with pride and dedication before an audience of thousands of spectators. Despite the challenging heat, the camaraderie and patriotism of the day shone brightly, creating unforgettable memories for all involved. Have you ever had the opportunity to participate in the Independence Day Parade in Washington, D.C.? We are thrilled to announce the availability of a new NSDAR Independence Day Parade pin. This official pin, which can be added to your insignia, is available for purchase. If you've ever marched in the National Independence Day Parade in Washington, D.C. with NSDAR, you're eligible to purchase this pin. Additionally, those who have participated in the parade for 5 or more years are eligible for a bar that can be attached to the pin, signifying their continued dedication. Now mark your calendars for next year's parade. Registration details will be provided in the January-February issue of the Daughters newsletter. We look forward to another spectacular display of patriotism and unity. Our daughters come from so many different backgrounds and experiences. We thought it would be neat to hear from a few of them about their favorite memories from the 133rd Continental Congress. What did you think when you either attended or watched online? What was your favorite takeaway? Let us know in the comments. It always means so much more and is just that much more fun when we get to hear from everyone. First up, we'll hear from Michelle Wherry from Ohio and Allison Manella from North Carolina.
The 133rd Continental Congress was just wonderful. For me, it was just a great time, not just to see and connect with friends, but I watched Allie Dunklin and her friend Marcia set up guest hospitality, which is outside the President General's room. They created an amazing floral space for daughters to come and take their photo in front of this beautiful floral tribute, to gather with friends and family and capture the moment in such, again, just a beautiful space. So my hat's off to Allie and to Marcia. Allie is the President General's daughter-in-law, and again, her creativity on designing and creating this beautiful space for all of us to enjoy was extraordinary. Thank you so much.
The best way I've been able to summarize attending Continental Congress for the first time to my family and friends is a feeling very similar to standing next to an ocean and really beginning to grasp the breadth and impact of our national society. It's this unique vantage point offered by Continental Congress that makes me truly appreciate and understand the work that our members are doing at the chapter and state levels and how that collectively contributes to our society. For me, more than anything, for those days spent in Washington, D.C. this summer, I hope to retain this perspective and pass it along to our fellow members as we spend another year sparkling in service.
Now let's hear from JeanEllen Hiter-Melton from Kentucky and Ruth Hunt from New York.
Hi. I just finished writing up my review of Continental Congress for my chapter's newsletter, and I hope you've had a chance to do the same for your chapter. One of the things I shared that I thought was really interesting about Continental Congress this year is that for the first time in my 25 years of attending, we had a tie in the election for Vice President General. And so, as I'm sure you're aware, we elect 7 women every year. And this year, the women who came in 7th place, 7th and 8th tied, they had the same number of votes. And let me tell you, my heart almost came out of my chest while I was watching them draw to determine who would be serving as a Vice President General for the next 3 years. But then it dawned on me, what a blessing we have as a national society to have members who are so capable and so willing to serve in leadership roles. And that is certainly not something that everybody has. So that was the thing I shared with my chapter as the most unique and memorable part of this year's Continental Congress for me. So next year, I am excited to attend the National Vice Chairman's Association dinner, and I'm excited because that club is celebrating 40 years as a club, and I have it on good authority that the event planning committee is already at work and has some really neat ideas for us to celebrate 40 years.
The 133rd Continental Congress was the absolute best conference that we've ever had, at least the one that I've enjoyed most. It was sensational. There was so many daughters that came in from all over the country, and the opening night, as always, was just mesmerizing. And I must say that to participate in the Night of Defense and to lead the preamble was my honor and my privilege. It was just, what can I say, fantastic. So I just want to say to the daughters that came in from all points of the United States and abroad, it was so nice to fellowship, to spend this special time that the daughters have with one another, to visit the library, to look at the vendors and all of the beautiful pieces that they brought. Our President General, Pamela Wright, is the most gracious and the illustrious president that I have experienced so far. She is sensitive, warm, embracing. I've noticed the inclusion of, so many daughters that participated this year that I've seen. It warms my heart to be a part of such a magnificent organization.
Don't you just love that we can all attend really pretty much the same events and yet all come away with different feelings and memories? It really does show what a broad spectrum of interests we have in our society. Well, the last few daughters we're going to hear from today is Kristin Petersen and her daughter Kataryna Blakeslee from New Mexico, and then two friends from Tennessee, Natalie Davis and Jennifer Thomas.
Every year, I think I have a handle on what to expect at Congress, and then many, many, many blessings happen.
About a year and a half ago, we came to the Netherlands to view some commemorative medals between the Dutch and the New America. Turns out that the DAR Museum actually even has a collection of about 18 of these, and so when we were able to view these on Monday, it really made the entire rest of the week bonus.
Thanks to our Curator General and William and the staff of the museum, who were so kind and gracious to make this possible to view the coins. Another blessing was our first annual Newfound Cousins tea, and that is a tradition I am so going to look forward to for next year as well.
And then I, of course, always look forward to paging every year. It is such an honor to always be of service in this way.
My favorite part of Continental Congress is the chorus singing. I love that they play all of the different military branch songs, and I love to see all the ladies standing up and excited to represent their branch of the military.
My favorite part about the 133rd Continental Congress was being able to represent the state of Tennessee as their state outstanding junior, and being allowed to hold the flag during Nancy Hamrick's honorary Vice President General nomination and the Tennessee State Regent State Report. I cannot wait to see the flag drop at the 134th Continental Congress.
Well, we leave you today with this quote by Ronald Reagan. We're blessed with the opportunity to stand for something, for liberty and freedom and fairness. And these things are worth fighting for, worth devoting our lives to. Well, thanks for listening, and be well, dear friends. Let's celebrate the stars and stripes forever, and remember, with all of your ancestors behind you, you are the result of the love of thousands. Well, this podcast was written and produced by our incredible team of writers and editors, and we are, as always, so grateful for President General Pamela Edwards-Rouse Wright and Historian General Suzanne Heskey for their constant guidance. To Michelle Tarlecki, to Courtney Dozier, Michelle, Allison, JeanEllen, Ruth, Kristin, Kataryna, Natalie, and Jennifer for being so generous with their time. The National Society Daughters of the American Revolution is a non-profit, non-political volunteer women's service organization dedicated to preserving our American history, securing our nation's future through better education, and promoting American patriotism. Members are all lineal descendants of those who supported the cause of independence in the Revolutionary War. For more information, please visit dar.org. This is the DAR Today podcast.